Colandia, a Spanish friar falls for a woman of indigenous origins until paranoia drives him to murder. Let's watch this.
Naturog na nunoy ka, napaduyan ka, inyuta na nunoy, duwaha mong mata, kaso bago nunoy, kanya kumayo pa, hinanap mo ako. Mapaduyan ka, katurog na nunoy, mapaduyan ka, iyuta na nunoy, ang duwa mong mata, kaso bago nunoy, kanya kumayo pa. Hinanap mo ako, mapaduyan ka, katurog na nunoy, mapaduyan ka, iruta na nunoy, ang duwa mong mata, kaso bago nunoy, kanya kumayo pa, hinanap mo ako, nang mapaduyan ka, katurog na nunoy.
For Angustia, we have director Kristian Cordero and actresses Michelle Smith and Maria Isabel Lopez. Good morning, guys. What a trailer! Wow, I was gonna say we were talking about the the film before we went on air. I tend to get a little bit more freaked out with the psychodramas. Is that how you would categorize it? Than actual horror films, and this seems to be something that will leave kind of a lasting mark on the psyche, direct. Where did you come up with the story? Where were you inspired to tackle some of the storyline?
The story is based on a popular legend and as a child I grew up listening to these stories, and I was inspired to write the story because for a long time there has been no stories coming from Hika, and I think we're thankful for Cinema One for giving us this break.
Now, Angustia
Yes.
is a Spanish word meaning
Anguish, deep
anguish.
sorrow.
Okay, and so the story revolves around this kind of anguish, this deep sorrow, because a priest ends up falling out of his road or his committed journey and falling in love with a woman.
With a native woman, and that would be the beginning of his struggle. To look at it in terms of faith, this will be the first time I guess that we will present a story about Catholic priests in cinema.
Definitely controversial in nature. Of course, we have our actresses, a very talented Maria Isabel here. Now tell us about your role.
I played the role of Natividad. Actually, she has like double beliefs as a caretaker of the chapel. So she has to like do her duties expected of her. At the same time, on the side, she's like a faith healer. Parang babayla. Yeah, and it's so exciting to do this film kasi it's a period movie. Parang yung role namin yung mga times ng Indio, Spanish times, we wear yung mga damit ng mga Indio. Yeah, and
Michelle? Goes back, yes, it's a lesson in history as well. Michelle, tell us about your role naman.
Well, I played the role of Tunag. I was the native woman wherein the parish priest fell in love with. And well, my role here was a bit of a conflict between falling in love with the priest and with my real man, with my real partner, who was also a native. So it also falls here wherein I get confused along the way in terms of being converted and going back to what we really do believe in the mountains. So there.
Well, it is very controversial. I know Director mentioned earlier this is the first time that something like this will be something like this will be presented on a big screen, tackling some issues with Catholic priests. What made you guys say yes? I want to be part of this project, no matter how controversial or how eyebrow-raising it is.
First, I had always supported Cinema One. I have always supported Ron Argelies of yung mga independent films. And then working with Palanca Award winning writer Kristian Cordero, it's such a privilege to do this film in Bicolano. Very challenging because I've done like a French film where I spoke French, a Chinese film, I spoke Chinese, and to do a film speaking the local dialect. Talagang it's so challenging. Plus, at the same time, working with competent actors like Alex Vincent Medina, who was last year's Cinema One Best Actor. So it's really exciting to do this project.
Now, are you fearful of any criticism as far as the storyline is concerned? Of course. Well, go ahead. I open that question up to all three of you because. Yeah, it's the first time that it's something, of course we know our roots and our ties with the Catholic Church here, and we're kind of taking head on something that says, priests are humans, they can fall to their own humanity. And how do you feel about presenting such a story?
I think it's high time to open the box, and I'm interested to know whether what would be the church. What would be their opinion on the matter, and as to controversies, who will face it? When
is there a message? You said it's high time that the box is kind of opened up for the public, to scrutinize both sides of the issue. Is there a message? Is there something
we are all aware of what's going on in the Vatican, and the eyes of the Filipinos are now wide open. Much as we believe in the church with their priests, we respect them, we follow our leaders, they're also human with a high level of testosterone. So I'm just going back to what my director was saying about the people's reaction. I can only say one thing, that this film will never be endorsed by the CBCP.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. Michelle, that must be, kind of, I'd be a little nervous, being the actress that plays the role of the woman that steals the heart of father. How did you take that all into consideration? I guess when you're playing.
Well, indeed. Well, on the Catholic's perspective, well, it is really a Pandora's box. It would definitely open a lot of skeletons, and it would definitely open a lot of talks, like sensible and sensitive talks about this issue. Now, particularly about my role, what I really took into consideration was that the thrust of the script itself, the thrust of the film, regardless if it's very sensitive, the fact that I shed a little bit of skin, relatively, the end goal is very beautiful. Even if it's dramatic, even if it's very powerful, even if it's very controversial, indeed, it's very beautiful. And that's what made me say yes to this film, because I know it would touch a lot of hearts.
That's right. In addition to kind of the anguish, the personal anguish that Alex Medina goes through, or his character goes through, correct? Well, I know this is just one of the films that will definitely raise eyebrows or get some spotlight at Cinema One. Now we're gonna go to Paolo now for another entry to the Cinema One's Originals Film Festival. Pao, did you hear what we were talking about here? This is definitely gonna raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a very, very interesting film.